Everybody. Just making a springtime, well, almost springtime video for Michigan. Still pretty cold. I just wanted to break it up. If it's not too long, I'm going to break it up into like soft baits, hard baits, baits that I am looking forward to reusing, and then if I get to it, my ultralight tackle setup. But let's get into it. We'll start with hard baits, and then we'll move over to soft baits that I'm looking forward to using this year, specifically in the spring, and then just kind of some baits that are making a comeback from last year. So as far as soft baits, we have two situations going on. Mass production, those are back here, and then this one, and then handmade lures. This is Take Handmade Japan, and then this is Bullet Baits Japan as well. So these two are handmade lures from Japanese makers that I personally have spoken with, and that I was able to snag some of their lures, bring them stateside. This is the Quick 72 by Ray Japan. These are the TN38s regular and Trigon by Jackal. And then this is the TMCO Hikate 7. And so we'll just kind of break them down and see what is unique about each of them. So for the bullet baits, I like their crawler. I'm looking forward to throwing it. It's a really good high quality light crawler, and that's what gravitated me towards it. It's only about 16 to 17 grams if I remember correctly. Ryugi hooks. I can throw this with most of the bait tackle setups that I have, bait caster, and then bait casting rod. I don't need anything swim bait specific to throw this, so that's what's nice about this, that I can use a crawler and not have to break out the special setup. They're lipless, just high quality colors, really sick. They stand up, so I can bounce them along the bottom. Sweet colors. Looking forward to this one for smallies. And then I wanted to throw swim baits, but in a really small package, and Take Handmade Lures managed to do this. This is their like trout setup. It is really light. I can throw it again in most all my tackle setup, so I'm really looking forward to throwing this trout color. This is their kind of shad shape. They have one that's a little bit more bluegill shape that I'm looking forward to throw, so can't wait. Nice quality, hand tuned, nice quality colors, really good Japanese cypress it's carved out of, so really good. As far as this is the Jackal Trigon TN38. The front weight takes it to, sorry, the hooks are sharp. The Trigon version goes to a 7.3 gram, and then the regular version, which I have right here, is a 5.1 gram lure. These are great for the spring. They're nice, small. They can mimic a lot of the size of bait fish that you have going on. So really accurate. And then this one's just a little heavier, so you can get down quicker. In rivers, you have a little bit more control over what's going on. So really cool bait size and setup. And then this TMCO lure, it's floating, has a lot of fibers. You can twitch it along the top. It's got all these cool joints. Looking forward to using this for top water. And then you can always add a weight on the bottom, like a sticky weight. It's got the nice setup for it. And then potentially make it sink and kind of introduce it that way. Kind of sick. The other thing that I have to say with all these baits is that I'm going to take the split ring off the hard baits because I just use a snap, like in this Raid Japan one. I snap everything. That, with the quality of snaps coming out, and specifically I use the Nishini lure size 0 to size 1 snap. With the quality of snaps coming out, I'm not really scared to lose baits, or you just get done with the day or a couple days of fishing and then you just throw it away and put on a new one. Completely up to you. It makes things last way longer. I'm even getting bold enough to do terminal tackle too. So, but this is the Quick 72 by Raid Japan. It is one of their newer minnow style kind of jerk bait style baits, and absolutely love the size, love the weight. Really good for casting long distances. The paint with Raid Japan as always is amazing. So really looking forward to throwing this. And without further ado, let's move over to the soft baits. So as far as soft plastics, one of the main things that I want to get into trying that is pretty popular in Japan right now is the just simple ball head, and usually it's a light ball head and then just a shad style, whether it's no paddle tail or kind of like a paddle tail. This is the Raid Japan paddle tail, and then this is the small atelier loop. He's a small shop in Japan that's making like handmade baits. He does this soft bait that I really like, the Kamuri, and super ribbed, works well with chatterbait as a trailer, but I just like to put a little ball head. What I've seen from him is he'll spine hook this and use it like that, but the paddle tail is also quite popular there. Usually what they use is just like a simple ball head jig, small, like a size 2, or in some cases a size 3, and then they'll just kind of like hover stroll it, or throw it deep, and then just kind of do that situation. The weights may vary. Some are light, but for my areas, I don't like to use that heavy of a weight. I like to kind of do more of the hover stroll situation, which you'll see coming up. But 0.6 grams. I have the 0.9, and then kind of for heavier stuff, I actually use the 1.3. I usually don't go heavier than this. But as you could see, it looks pretty clean. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Looks pretty clean. Very, very simple, terminal tackle wise. And then the way some of these ball jig heads are being made is that they actually, the way you tie and the way the weight is it'll create like more action, or impart more action. And then the paddle tail obviously does that. The other baits that I'm going to start throwing here on beds and on in ponds, just because their fall rate's very controlled, are these kind of cube baits. This is the Duba 2.4 by D style, and they're a little bit thicker, and the appendages are actually part of the bait. But there's a trick to kind of get more action. And then everybody has heard by now about the OSP dice rubber. This is gonna be my second year using them. Great bait to throw. And then I'll show you guys how this is rigged. And then this is the Z Factory version, a little bit more round, a little bit thicker, less appendages. These are rubber script materials that are fed through. So I'm very curious as to how these are going to go. But love the look, love the amount of salt content, and I look forward to using these. As far as the setup and rigging for these, it's really simple. Like here I have the dice rubber. It is just a wacky hook is all I ever use. And then the sides can actually, the dice like markings actually serve as like hook points for me to come out of. So like for example, this is coming off the side. You can do straight, like, rig it straight and then have it come out of the center. Kind of however you want it. I don't think it changes the fall action at all, but it could potentially. But these are really fun baits to throw, especially in ponds when the fish are hitting the corners for warmth as the waters are warming up or as you're starting to make beds. Really good baits. Of course, green pumpkin always works, but this is Moby, and I'm just curious as to try all these different colors. The difference between the salted and the non-salt version is just the fall rate. They're both sinking, but they just sink at different rates. And then now let's finally move on to kind of what is in my tackle box and kind of what baits I'm going to bring back from last year that were really successful. All right, so as far as baits that I will be bringing back, just because for one, they're proven to work, and for two, they're just fun. Starting over here, chatterbait. This is the Z-Man Minimax. So that just flat out works. This is that Kamuri trailer. This was altered a little bit by me. I changed the skirt, added a little bit of natural hair fibers just to help the overall presentation and create a little bit more of a natural color look to it. But overall, fantastic. Hover Stroll, everybody's starting to become pretty familiar with it. It's popular. Spine, and then kind of like a 1/64 ounce weight. Very light. This is the Jackal Drift Fry, the original one, which is a little bit smaller. They make one up to like 4 or 5 inches now, I think, which is huge, but nonetheless, for spawning, just size and everything, and even for bedding too, because this is where my mind's going, like bed fishing, what can I do? Hover Stroll is going to kill it. It sinks a little bit faster than what you would expect. Even with just having a 1/64th, I would even go lighter if you wanted to sink slower. In rivers especially, this sink rate's pretty good. Kind of surprising. The dice rubber, the cube baits, great for bedding. Max salt if you're in the rivers, non-salt if you're in ponds and you just kind of want to like pick off fish. Really effective, especially right now as the corners of the ponds are warming up and fish are kind of suspending in that area. I'll probably make a video this week or next week. So then we have the jigs. This is just your regular JDM jigs with a paddle tail and then kind of a bug style trailer. And then this is one of my favorite baits to use, the Evergreen stable jig. And then any trailer works, but this is the Raid Japan fish roller. And then the EC Shizumi Mushi. I always forget the name, I trip over it. Really effective bait, just thrown on a simple weighted hook, 3/0. This is the 2.2. In green pumpkin or when you have stained situations, the black and blue always works. So yeah, baits that I'm looking forward to using this coming year that I'm bringing back. Right. And then last but not least, my ultra light tackle setup. Here we have a little pocket box, couple compartments. I have some soft baits in here. This is Great Lakes bait on a Ryugi like tiny ball head, just kind of like what I said. And then this is a Euro tackle jig head with the new paddle tail by Z-Man. As far as the rest, I have, like a little BFS spinner bait right here by Lucky. Got some extra terminal stuff right here. I have 2 cranks. One's by Lucky Craft, and then the other one's handmade, that I found a guy that does like little tiny cranks that are handmade. Amazing. Jekyll Timon bung bait, which is just like for area trout. I've been trying to see if it works in my area, and then a Nori's trout spoon. Can never go wrong with an inline spinner. This is really, really light. Some snaps, because you can never have too many. And then the Jekyll Timon flat pani, which is one of my favorites, if not my all-time favorite BFS crankbait. And then guy down south paints these. Great baits. It's kind of like a sinking rolling bait. Has really good action. But yeah, this is my ultralight setup. Again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I look forward to fishing with you guys. This is my box. Got it ready. Just looking forward to getting the season started. I'm seeing some warmer weather in the forecast, and so you might see some videos of me potentially catching some fish, I'm hoping, in the very near future. So thank you guys for tuning in. Very much appreciated.